Hello guys and welcome to another MK Mobile character review, today featuring Klassic Smoke. As usual guys, please note the date when this video has been recorded because a lot of things may have changed since then. And if you're not familiar with the matrix I'm using in order to evaluate characters, you can find it on the top right corner of the screen. So without any further ado, let us put Klassic Smoke to the test. Klassic Smoke guys was released on the 24th of July 2020 as the first gold character to be introduced to the game for the last probably 1.5 or even 2 years. Basically this was the main reason why he wasn't a gold challenge character and he was obtainable exclusively through a pack. And of course after update 3.0 Klassic Smoke replaced Classic Melina as a faction wars exclusively obtainable character. So let's check whether he's worth that honor. His attack is 43,470, which is the 26th highest in the game and the 7th highest among the gold characters. The hit points, they are 96,000 sharp, and this is the 18th highest in the game and the 3rd highest in the gold league. The toughness is 41,580 and it is the 21st highest in MK Mobile and the 4th highest among the gold characters. And the recovery is 37,800, which ranks 30th in the game and 11th in the gold league. The power generation is just 100%, which is quite common for all gold cards. So for his stats, Klassic Smoke is going to get 17.8 out of 28 possible points. Special one of Klassic Smoke guys is called Brother's Weapon, and in my opinion this is the bread and butter of this character. So let us find out why. First of all, the ability can be completely blocked by the opponent. It has speed as buff, which by the way can stack, and the best I did was 2 stacks. Please let me know in the comments whether 3 or more is even possible. Furthermore, the ability can be cast from distance even though the first mini hit will miss, but this is not a big deal at all. It is lethal now. I'm not quite sure whether this will still be the case after the next update, but since I'm doing the review now, at this particular time, this special attack is lethal, so we're going to allocate some points there accordingly. The ability consists of 2 mini hits and it has the single tap rectangle as mini game. And one more thing about his special one, I have to be honest, this special attack follows perfectly after both combo enders of Klassic Smoke, which means that it is extremely easy to be chained. So it doesn't matter what you do combo ender and then special one immediately, the enemy will never block, and that is awesome. When it comes to damage, the minimum damage of the ability is 20,986, which is the 11th highest in the game and the 2nd highest in the gold league. The maximum damage is 40,065, which ranks 14th in MK Mobile and again 2nd among all gold characters. Once again, the special attack can be blocked by the opponent, it has speed as buff, it can be cast from distance, it is currently lethal, it consists of 2 mini hits and it has the single tap rectangle as mini game. So for his special one, Smoke is going to get the solid 9.7 out of 13 possible points. Special 2 of Smoke guys is called There and Back, and here it is what you need to know about it. First of all, the ability can be blocked by the opponent. It has Snare as debuff, however the enemy shouldn't be blocking. If the enemy is blocking, then 99% of the cases the Snare will not affect him, and that's unfortunate. In addition, the special attack can be cast from distance, even at long range it will be fine, only 2 of the mini hits will miss, but this is not a big deal because they don't deal a lot of damage anyways. The ability is lethal, it consists of 5 mini hits and it has the multi-tap circle as mini game. When it comes to damage, the minimum damage of the special attack is 47,697, which is the 20th highest in the game and the highest among all gold characters. The maximum damage is 85,855 and it ranks 34th highest in the game and 7th in the gold league. Once again, the special attack can be blocked by the opponent, it has Snare as debuff, it can be cast from distance, it is lethal, it consists of 5 mini attacks, and it has the multi-tap circle as minigame. So for his special 2, Klassic Smoke is going to get 13 out of 19 possible points. Ashes in Your Mouth. This is the name of Klassic Smoke X-Ray, and to be honest with you, it looks pretty gorgeous. The only issue I have with it when it comes to the way it looks is that it's a way too short, but you know, it is what it is. In addition, this X-ray can be cast from distance, even at long range, it will be okay, and it has shield as buff, which is pretty great. When it comes to damage, the damage of the ability is 116,381, which is the 23rd highest in the game and the highest among all gold cards. So, once again, the special attack can be cast from distance, it has shield as buff, and in general it's going to score 3.8 out of 4 possible points, and the total amount of points Smoke is going to get to his special attacks adds up to 26.5 out of 36 possible. The basic attacks of Klassic Smoke are not flawless, but still they're pretty good, so let's start with the negatives. If your enemy is blocking, Smoke will never push him away, and this will leave him vulnerable for eventual counter-attack. But a very good way to counter this is to simply do special one if you have enough power, and it doesn't matter whether your opponent blocks it or not, he is going to be pushed away, so you have a lot of time to either tag out or to start another combo. It doesn't matter, both ways you win. Apart from that, Klassic Smoke is a great puncher, he punches pretty fast, and the best thing about his basic attack is the fact that they set the stage for his special one in the best possible way. Basically, you can do special one after either of his combo enders, and it will connect, the enemy will never block, and that's great. This is turning Klassic Smoke in one of the best special one chainers in the game, if we can say it this way. So, I believe that he deserves definitely 8.3 out of 10 possible points for his basic attacks. The passive of Klassic Smoke, guys, is called Lost in the Smoke, and here it is what it does. I quote: "Any opponent fighting against Klassic Smoke for 10 seconds gets affected by blind. Each time Klassic Smoke or his Klassic teammates resist a debuff, this debuff is instead applied to the opponent. Klassic teammates gain 20% resistance to debuffs." Now, where do we begin? Obviously, this passive has a dual nature because at one hand, it means that Klassic Smoke himself can perform pretty good at the field, mainly thanks to his equipment, and second, Klassic Smoke can be a very good support. So the decisive factor whether you're going to use him as your main fighter or whether you're going to use him as a support is based on whether you have better options on higher fusion, for example Classic Lucane, or whether your Klassic Smoke is a very low fusion, so you have to use him as a support like 100% of the time. But is the passive itself good? I would say yes, it is extremely useful. You saw a lot of cases of this passive being useful in the Cold War Tower, especially in Battle 199 when you get frozen, stunned all the time. So point is, all you have to do is have Klassic Smoke in your team, and instead of you getting frozen, it is going to be the opponent that's going to get frozen, and that's pretty insane. And you have so many ways to increase the resistance to the buff. First of all, Smoke does it thanks to his passive. On top of that, there's Hawk Stance that gives additional 20% resistance to all debuffs. There are other talents that give you resistance to snare, resistance to power drain, resistance to stun, and other equipments on top of that, so you can get easily let's say 60 or 70% resistance to debuffs on your Klassic teammates, which is incredible. Basically, not only you're going to resist the debuffs, but you're going to apply the same debuffs on your enemies. You don't have to worry about Sub-Zero freezing you, because in a lot of situations he will freeze himself. You don't have to worry about MK11 Scorpion tagging attack, because he's going to set himself on fire. And the beautiful thing is that I believe that if MK11 Scorpion sets the entire team on fire and 2 of your characters resist the fire, then he's going to get 2 fires on him, and that's pretty insane. I really love that, guys. In a nutshell, I reckon that this passive is one of the best passives of any gold character. Of course, not the best, but one of the best. And the reason is very simple. First of all, there are so many items that can benefit you and that can help you trigger his passive as many times as possible. You can easily obtain equipment that gives you resistance to stun, resistance to power drain, to fire, and so on and so on. In addition, Klassic teammates are probably the strongest characters in the game. Let's take a look at Classic Lucane, who is in my opinion the best character in the game. Let's take a look at Classic Raiden, probably the second best character in the game. And if you don't want to continue with the diamonds, let's take a look at Classic Melina, who is currently, in my opinion, the best gold character for survival mode. She is a total boss there. And so far we spoke just about the second part of his passive, because the blind just comes as a bonus. You already have the bread and butter, which is the second part of his passive, and the blind stuff is still good, but I really don't care about it because the second part of the passive is already very, very great. So, I definitely think that Klassic Smoke deserves solid 19 out of 20 possible points for his passive. He is just a martial artist, so he gets 1 point for classes and 0 points for tagging attack. Okay guys, it is time to decide whether Klassic Smoke is a good character, so as usual we are going to take a look at the bigger picture. He has decent stats, not the greatest in the world, but definitely not bad. Also he has very useful special attacks with very good buffs and debuffs respectively. He has very useful passive and great basic attacks, so in general he is one of the best gold characters in the game, if not the best gold character. Actually, you can use him as a support and he will work. You can use him as a fighter and he will work. He's a very versatile character. His only problem, actually it's not a problem, but it's more like imperfection, is that his passive works only on specific characters. If his passive was working on all gold to diamond characters, he would have been probably the greatest gold without any issues. And I'll be giving him 2.5 out of my 3 subjective points. The reason why I'm not giving him the 3 points is because I always connect Smoke with the fact that we didn't have any gold character released for like 2 or 3 years, and then they gave us Smoke, who is a reskin of Scorpion, and they decided to put him in a pack for money, and this really pissed me off at that time. But apart from that, I do realize that he's an amazing character, so 2.5 out of 3. And with my subjective points, he's going to score 76 out of 102 possible, and we can label him as a great character. In fact, he is the gold character who scored the most points up to date. The second after Klassic Smoke was Combat Cup Johnny, who finished with 74.7. So with 76 points, Smoke is going to rank 24th alongside with Nightmare Jason. So final verdict for Klassic Smoke is going to be great character. If I have to be completely honest with you guys, I don't have a lot of experience with Klassic Smoke because currently I have him at Fusion 3, so I cannot really say whether he's the perfect opener or not. I reckon that because of his passive, is because for the fact that he relies on his special one most of the time, he should make of a good opener. Still, I cannot say 100%, but everything points in that direction. With that said, when it comes to the characters that he counters, basically he is good against anybody, but I really love playing against MK11 Scorpion, as long as MK11 Scorpion isn't in a team with MK11 Jade, because in that case he will love to be set on fire. But in case he isn't teamed up with MK11 Jade, when he tags in, he's going to get set on fire twice or even 3 times, and it's pretty fun to watch. And when it comes to the characters that counter Smoke, guys, the biggest counter to Klassic Smoke is Commando Kano. Guys, this dude is immune to blind, so basically no, of course I'm joking. Commando Kano isn't a counter Klassic Smoke because he'll probably get one-shotted by a single special one, but still he can, he's immune to blind. There's nothing you can do. So I was really thinking of a good counter of Klassic Smoke. I cannot think of one. Probably Classic Raiden, probably, I'm not quite sure. And definitely this guy works almost pretty well against any character. And when it comes to the equipment that you have to give Klassic Smoke, I would say that definitely 100% he requires his Yoroi. That's the best item for him, gives him 50% resistance to all debuffs, which combined with his passive and combined with the Hawk Stance from the talent tree makes sure that he's basically almost immune to every single debuff in the game, and that's incredibly useful. In terms of weapon, if he's your starter, then Devastator. If he isn't your starter, then something for break block, such as, for example, I don't know, anything will do basically. Anything that gives you a block breaking chance will be great with a Smoke. And with an accessory, I usually give him Bloody Voodoo Doll so that I can reduce the power cost of special one, because every time when I play Smoke, I rely mainly on his special one. Okay guys, we got to the teams. Now, you have to use Classic Smoke in a Classic team. Classic Melina isn't the best idea, even though it is a good idea. It really depends on how often you're going to use Classic Smoke. If you can just keep him in the shadows and do everything with Classic Melina, then they're a very, very good team. However, since he isn't a female, Classic Melina cannot heal him, and that's not really the best synergy in the world. However, he really pairs pretty well with Classic Jax. Together with Smoke, Jax becomes probably one of the best tanks in the game. You cannot really do almost anything to him. Whatever you do to him, you're going to get crippled, you're going to get weakened, or you decide to freeze or something, you're going to get frozen yourself. It's pretty annoying. So yeah, you can combine Smoke with Juggernauts like Classic Jax, like Classic Liu Kang, like Classic Raiden, like Classic Reptile, and he will be good to go. Okay guys, Classic Smoke, what do you think of him? Do you like him? Do you dislike him? Please let me know in the comments. Once again, he scored 76 points sharp and we labeled him as a great character. As usual guys, if you want to see more reviews, you can find the playlist on the top right corner of the screen. And if you want to know which is the next on-demand review, it is going to be a surprise. See you next time guys. Take care and stay safe.
Sleep well. Ha!
Outstanding.
Perfect.